This is section 2.2. We're going to be talking about angle bisectors. So, an angle bisector divides an angle into two congruent angles. So, for example, angle ABD is congruent to angle DBC. Notice they each have one tick mark to indicate that the two angles are congruent. So here we have ray BD bisects angle ABC, and the measure of angle ABC is 110 degrees. So notice that the 110 degrees is marking the measure of the whole angle, ABC. So we want to find the measure of angle ABD. Well, if BD bisects, that means it cuts angle ABC in half. So this measure is going to be 110 divided by 2, which is 55 degrees. And if that half is 55 degrees, then this half, the measure of angle DBC, is also going to be 55 degrees. Bisects means to cut in half. So each half is 55 degrees. So here we have ray HK is bisecting angle GHJ. So find the measure of angle GHK. So that's 1/2. Well, this mark here is indicating that the whole angle GHJ is 52 degrees. So that means that this half is 52 divided by 2, which is 26 degrees. So the measure of angle GHK is 26 degrees. And if that half is 26 degrees, then the measure of angle KHJ, so this half, also has to be 26 degrees. Okay. And then I just want to reiterate that this blue mark here is indicating that the whole angle is 52 degrees, not just the bottom half, right? It's the whole angle GHJ. So here we have ray HK bisects angle GHJ, and GHJ is 90 degrees. That's what this box here is indicating. It's a right angle, which is 90 degrees. So the measure of angle GHK is half of 90. So 90 divided by 2 means that this angle is 45 degrees, which means that the other half, angle KHJ, is also 45 degrees. Now, here, angle EFH and HFG both have one tick mark. That means that those two angles are congruent to each other. So let's come up with a random, let's say maybe these are both 30 degrees. Now, angle GFJ is congruent to angle JFK, and those are both marked congruent in my picture with 2 tick marks each. So for example, let's say these are both 20 degrees. Now, the number of tick marks does make a difference. So all 4 of these angles are not congruent. We just know that angle EFH and angle HFJ are congruent because they both have 1 tick mark, and we know that angle GFJ and angle JFK are congruent because they both have 2 tick marks. So the matching red arcs identify the congruent angles. So in this example, ray MP bisects the whole angle LMN. So we want to find angle PMN and then angle LMN. So these red tick marks are indicating that these 2 angles are congruent, angle LMP and PMN. So if this half is 46 degrees, then we know that this half is also 46 degrees. But then they want us to find the measure of angle LMN, which is the whole angle. So that would be 46 degrees plus 46 degrees, which gives us a total of 92 degrees. So is angle LMN acute, right, obtuse, or straight? Well, 92 degrees is greater than 90 degrees. Therefore, my angle is obtuse. So they are telling me that QS bisects angle PQR. We can also see that demonstrated in the picture here with the two congruent tick marks. So find the measure of angle SQP. Oops, that's 29 degrees since the other half was marked as 29 degrees. And then they also want us to find the measure of angle PQR. So PQR is the whole measure. So that is going to be 29 degrees plus 29 degrees, which equals a total of 58 degrees. So angle PQR then is less than 90, which means that it is an acute angle. And the last section, we're going to throw in some variables. So they tell me that ray RQ bisects angle PRS, which means that it cuts it in half. So we know that this half over here is 85 degrees, but we know that that's congruent to this half, which is also 85 degrees. So therefore, if we know this angle is also 85 degrees, then we can set 6x plus 1 equal to 85 to figure out what value of x is going to make that angle measure 85 degrees. Okay. Congruent means the same measure or it means equal, so I can set them equal. Subtract 1 from both sides. We get 6x equals 84. Divide both sides by 6, and we get x equals 14. So here we have ray BD bisects angle ABC, which means that it cuts it in half. So we know that this half is congruent to this half. Congruent means equal, so we can take each half and set them equal to each other. So 9x equals 8x plus 3. I'm going to move my variable terms to the left side. That gives me 1x equals positive 3. So we get x equals 3. And one more problem. Ray BD bisects angle ABC. So again, since it bisects it, it cuts it in half. So that half is congruent to this half. So we know that this half has to be 55 degrees as well. So we can set them equal and figure out what value of x will make that half 55 degrees. Subtract 12 from both sides and we get x equals 43.